You're in a meeting, everything is fine, you're not even tired, and then someone across the room yawns. Within seconds, you feel it building at the back of your throat. Your jaw drops, your eyes water, you couldn't stop it if you tried. But here's the thing, scientists still don't fully agree on why you just did that. And the answer, it turns out, is stranger than anyone expected. A yawn is technically called a pandiculation, an involuntary stretch of the eardrums, the jaw, the throat, and a deep inhalation that fills the lungs in one slow, uncontrollable wave. For decades, the dominant theory was simple. You yawn because your brain is running low on oxygen. More air in, more oxygen to the brain, problem solved. There's just one problem with that theory. It's almost certainly wrong. In the 1980s, psychologist Robert Provine ran an experiment where participants breathed air with significantly elevated carbon dioxide levels, the exact condition that should trigger yawning if the oxygen theory were true. They didn't yawn any more than normal. The leading theory today is far more interesting. Your brain is a high-performance machine, and like any machine, it generates heat. When your brain temperature rises, performance starts to drop, focus fades, reaction time slows, cognition dulls. Yawning, researchers now believe, is your body's built-in cooling mechanism for the brain. When you yawn, the dramatic stretching of the jaw increases blood flow to the skull. The deep inhalation pulls cooler air across the blood vessels in your nasal cavity and mouth. Together, they act like a cooling fan, flushing warm blood away from the brain and replacing it with a cooler supply. This explains something that puzzled researchers for years. Why we yawn most at two very specific times, just before we fall asleep, and just after we wake up. Both are moments of brain state transition, when your neural temperature is shifting. Your body is essentially recalibrating, and the yawn is the thermostat. But the brain cooling theory still doesn't explain the strangest thing about yawning. Why does seeing someone else yawn make you yawn? You don't need their temperature regulated, you need yours. The answer lives deep in your brain, in a system of neurons called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are the reason you flinch when you watch someone else get hurt. They're why you smile when a stranger smiles at you. They fire not when you perform an action, but when you observe someone else performing it. Your brain, in essence, simulates the experience as if it were your own. And contagious yawning, researchers believe, is a byproduct of empathy. Not metaphorical empathy, literal, neurological empathy. Studies show that people with higher empathy scores are significantly more susceptible to contagious yawning. Children under 4, whose empathy systems are not yet fully developed, are largely immune to it. And people with autism spectrum conditions which affect social processing yawn contagiously far less than neurotypical individuals. Contagious yawning isn't weakness or boredom. It's your social brain doing exactly what it was designed to do, synchronize with the people around you. And humans aren't alone in this. Virtually every vertebrate animal yawns: fish, birds, reptiles, mammals. But contagious yawning, the socially triggered kind, appears almost exclusively in animals with complex social structures. Chimpanzees do it, dogs do it, wolves do it. And fascinatingly, dogs will yawn contagiously in response to human yawns, suggesting the social bond between humans and dogs runs deep enough to cross species. So the next time you yawn in a meeting and it spreads around the room, you're not watching people switch off. You're watching a social network activate in real time. Every contagious yawn is a tiny act of empathy. Your brain reaching out, syncing with another, saying, "I feel what you feel." Not bad for an ancient reflex you can't even control.